So now let's talk a little bit about your business, Legacy Athletic. When did you decide to start that, and what is the mission behind Legacy Athletics?
I thought about starting Legacy Athletics in 2009, right? It came to fruition. Went through some hiccups in regards to the identity of what I wanted to be able to do. And about 10 years ago, I said, I'm going to get out of the mindset of training people, and I'm going to get in the mindset of transforming mindsets. And that's where the biggest transition began to be able to happen. You know, the word of mouth and the community emergence started to happen saying, oh, you know, you can not only get faster and jump higher and move quicker, you can also learn confidence. You know, you can also learn visualization. You can also, and we just done that, you know, throughout that. The word legacy means something, rings bell. In our logo, we have the love. And the reason why I put the love in there, because anything that we love, we're going to go above and beyond it in doing it. For me, it's a playground every single day to get up and be able to teach and educate. And it's Christmas every single time an athlete walks into the door. And it's something that I thoroughly enjoy, love to be able to do. And that's why I like the legacy part of it. That's why we're on this podcast now, just to be able to get more of it out there in regards to what's the story, why, when, how, who. And it's been something that I wanted to continue to be able to get out there in that regard. So legacy is myself. I have a staff of, you know, 4 the, you know, coaches and an executive admin. They all are specialized in biomechanics and corrective. So we have the highest training accreditation. For me, I have the psychology side of it, and also a platform called High Performance Mindset, which they also have access to, where, because not as maybe have one out of the last 10,000 athletes have walked in the building and has had a 10 confidence. Not one out of maybe that many. So that's another thing too that's missing, that we try to be able to bridge that gap and transform the athletes and the kids in that manner.
You touched on something that is extremely important, and I actually was having that conversation with my wife yesterday.
Okay.
So how do you help others build confidence?
It's actually pretty easy, believe it or not. You find out where their confidence is, and then you just give them the tools that are necessary. For example, waking up in the morning and affirming is one of them, right? I wake up in the morning every single day and I'm saying I'm about to have the best day of my life. Getting in your journal and talking about what will happen. That's another way, you know, to continue to build confidence. And then there's a natural way to reset your nervous system. Well, how do you reset your nervous system? 4-7-8 principle. You take a deep breath for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7, you blow it out for 8. And then you give yourself some positive affirmation after that. Now, we know being positive ain't enough. If a nail's rusty, you take a paintbrush and you put it on a rusty nail, it's still a rusty nail. But you have to affirm, you have to reset your nervous system, you have to journal, so that you have to learn visualization. So laying out those exercises and those strategies, we give them that platform to be able to do. Now, the problem a lot of times is that most of them don't do it as much as they want to jump higher. They don't really understand. It's just as important to work on your mind with the same amount of man hours as you do your body. And that's where it comes in, where they have to be confident in building those strategies. And that's because we trying to weed out a lot of the noise. It's like, if you could spend 13 hours on your phone, then go do something for yourself. So I try to just make sure we encourage them how important they are to work on themselves. This is for you. This is not for mom. This is not for dad. This is for you. And any entrepreneur, any business professional, anybody that wants to say, okay, your mindset is that's the ecosystem. Those 3. You know what I mean? When you're talking about your body, your movement, and your mindset, so you have to be able to work on them. You know what I mean? Through all that, like momentum loves motion. You know what I mean? The discipline gives you the freedom.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you understand and you do that.
That's so fire! Fire, fire, fire! That's so fire, baby! That's so fire! Fire! That's so fire! Ow!